Hello, stamping friends. Welcome back for round 2 on Thursday, January 4th. In case you missed it, I was live earlier today. I did a mini catalog virtual tour or walkthrough showing you, pointing out different things in the mini catalog and showing you some of my favorites and sharing some ideas. And then we also did a quick review of Celebration, what that is, how it works, and what are the freebies that you can earn when you shop, host, or join during Celebration, which started today and ends on February 29th. So yeah, it's a leap year. So we get an extra day of stamping, an extra day of celebration. So that's always kind of cool. There is somebody on my team who is has a leap year birthday, and I think she's the first person I've ever known to have a true February 29th birthday. So that's fun. But if you missed that new catalog walkthrough, be sure and take a look. Perhaps you'll hear something that maybe you missed before going through the catalog. If you are in need of a catalog and you are not working with a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and earn your business. All you have to do to get your complimentary catalog is go to stampinpiece.com and fill out the contact form with your information and request a catalog and celebration brochure, and I'll send that right off to you. On Tuesday's Facebook Live, we did a variation of the stack, slice, and shuffle technique using the Be Mine suite. That video is here on Stampin' Piece with Mary Knabe, and I'll be putting that up on my blog and my YouTube channel no later than tomorrow. Today I'm working with the same products from the Be Mine suite, but we're doing something totally different. And I think you will enjoy seeing this demonstration and then seeing me make a second card with a variation of the 4 corners fun folds technique. So I'm going to flip my camera around now so we can get started. While I'm doing that, please share this live video, inviting others to join. You can even tag your friends right here in the comments and it will bring them directly to this Facebook Live. Okay, if you were with me with the previous Facebook Live, you got to see little Riley and her mom. Riley's napping now, but Andrea is down here doing some work for me, and currently she's punching lots of circles for the make and take kits or make and take packets for my Creative Escape weekend next Friday through that Monday. Starts a week from tomorrow. So if you hear some punching or a noise in the background, that's what it is. I think we'll be just fine, but just letting you know that that's happening. Lori, thanks for being back for the second time today. Hi, Donna. Okay. Each of my cards is going to basically use the very same products. We're just going to put together the card fronts a little bit differently. So I'm going to use a basic black card base, A2 size, so 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and scored at 4 1/4 down the middle. I have a piece of basic white cardstock, measuring 5 1/4 by 4 inches for the inside. Oh, I meant to actually stamp a sentiment. Well, that's all right. I'll do it later. I'm going to put a sentiment on the inside of this card as well, but I can do that later. Then I have a piece of the Be Mine Designer Series paper, and this measures 2 by, it measures 4 by 5 1/4. 4 by 5 1/4. So same size as the white cardstock we put on the inside. I'm going to cut this in half lengthwise at 2 inches. And then I'm going to stack these 2 pieces and turn them to the horizontal position and cut at 2 5/8 inches. So basically, I'm cutting that DSP in half in both directions. Now, before I show you the next part, what I want to do is lay these out so that all the pieces match up like a puzzle. And I don't know why, I can't remember which was my left, right, top, and bottom. There we go. But it's not that hard. Or is it? Here we go. So you want to lay them out like a puzzle, and that's very important. And then we're going to fold a corner on each one of these pieces. And I'm calling this the 4 corners fun folds technique, because I'm going to do a corner on each of them. So 4 corners, and they're going to be folded. Different than the 4 corner stamping technique. All right. So just keep that in mind. I have made a little template, and what I'm going to do is use this template as a guide to folding the corners so that they're all approximately the same size fold. Okay. So there's the first one. And when you're prepping this, I basically went over about 1 inch and then down the same amount and cut across. All right, you can see here's the corner I cut off. All right, you can make this corner larger or smaller. It doesn't really matter, but I found that this is a good size to work with. Now, when I'm doing the one directly next to it, I want to fold the inside corner, the middle corner. So I'm going to flip that template so that it helps me fold the inside corner, or on this particular one, the top left. Okay, so I did top right, top left. And now I'm going to fold these bottom corners of the top 2 pieces. So again, I'm just moving my template so that I know which corner I'm folding and that I fold it to the same size. And the last one, again, that inside bottom corner. It doesn't have to be a real harsh crease either. In fact, you'll see in a moment why I kind of like mine standing up a little bit instead of like gluing them down completely flat. But that is a matter of preference. Now I'm going to put these onto my card front, and I'm going to use my all-purpose glue, my liquid glue, so that I just kind of place them lightly. Again, you want to keep them in order, like a finished puzzle. But I just put them on lightly until I get all 4 pieces on. And then I have time, because of the liquid glue, I have time to move them around, slide them in place so that I get things evenly spaced. And you'll see that by folding each of my pieces, 2 inch by 2 5/8, then I'm going to be left with an opening in the center of my card front. I think that looks pretty good and straight. Okay. Now I want to finish this off. I've already pre-punched a 1.5 inch circle, and I'm using black Memento ink. And I'm going to stamp Love You just slightly lower than half, okay, slightly closer to the bottom. And then I'm going to stamp these 3 red hearts from the Be My Valentine stamp set in Sweet Sorbet. Sweet Sorbet is the coordinating red in this product suite, or this DSP. And then I'm going to mount that right to the center of my card front with a Stampin' Dimensional. And you certainly can use, you know, a different size or different shape of punched or die cut cardstock. Any sentiment, you know, you can rearrange it in there, and it doesn't necessarily have to fit right on the inside. It could go across, it could be tall, all right? So if you like this idea and this layout and you want to give it a try, but perhaps you don't have the same products I'm using today, pull out what you have, okay? Pull out what you have, and then you can work the card sketch or card layout. But this is a great card for Valentine's Day, of course. It's got the hearts on and the love you. But on the inside here, I'm going to stamp You Are Sweet as Honey. Okay. So nice for Valentine's Day, but certainly nice other times to just tell somebody you love them and think the world of them, okay? You know, we'll hold off on embellishing for just a moment because I don't see I'm not seeing the ribbon I thought I pulled out. See it, Andrea? Well, we'll come back to that. There should be a little pack of DSP with these papers in. I thought, oh, here it is. Here it is. There's the ribbon in here. Yes, there it is. Sorry, it was hiding from me. Andrea was ready to come to my rescue. I always say I need an assistant when I'm doing Facebook Lives, right? But I've got her working on other things. So let's hold off on the embellishing of the cards until I finish the second one. So the second card is basically made very much the same way, all the same pieces. And I've already gone ahead and cut my pieces. So I just need to put them back in order. And remember, I started by cutting a piece of designer series paper that was 4 inches by 5 1/4. All right, 4 inches by 5 1/4. I cut in half lengthwise at 2 inches, and then I cut a half across at 2 5/8 inches. All right. I'm using that same template because my pieces are the same as the first card. And this time, instead of folding the inside corners, I'm going to fold the 4 outside corners. Okay, or you could fold the 4 inside and then mix them up and put them in place. But I just think it's easier to remember, am I working on the inside corners or the outside corners. All right, so I'm going to start over here in my top left. And on that piece, I am folding down the top left corner using my template as a guide. Moving to the top right piece and folding down the top right corner. Again, using the template as a guide. Now I want to continue folding the outside corner. So now I'm working with the bottom left. So I want to position that template on the piece so that the bottom left corner is exposed, and I can fold that over. And then the bottom right corner for the last piece. Okay, I've got all my pieces together. So I'm going to put the card together the same way. Basic black cardstock. And then a piece of basic white for the inside. So 5 inches by 4 1/4. So same size as the first DSP cut. And now I'm ready to adhere these pieces to the card front, again using my multi-purpose liquid glue. Just kind of lay them in place and get them all on the card front first, and then you'll have time to move them around and adjust your spacing if you need to. It's nice to have that liquid glue. I don't use it for everything, but I always make sure to use it when I have several pieces that I know I'll want even spacing around. It just makes it easier and gives you a little leeway time before it dries permanently. Sometimes we just need to make that little shift. Okay, so it looks good, right? They're all evenly spaced. I've got my 4 outside corners popped up. Now this is where if you want to adhere these down, you certainly can do that. If you'd like them to be lifted up off the card front, then you can leave them be. Now on this card, I'm going to stamp "You're as sweet as honey" for the front of the card. So I'm using a 1/2 inch strip of basic white, and now I could use my Banner's Pick-a-Punch to punch each end, but I did this the other day on the last Facebook Live, and somebody mentioned how difficult it can be to get the angles cut the same on both sides. So what I do is I cut the one side, I take that piece I just cut off, and I turn it and put it on the other side of the sentiment, lining up the top and bottom. And then I can just put the edge of my paper snips right along that little scrap that I cut off and use that as my guide to snip the other end. So now I have a sentiment with both ends at an angle cut, and both angles are even. Super easy little trick. Then, does anybody recognize this shape? Does anybody recognize that shape? That's the bee's body. right? The bumblebee's body from the bee builder punch. And the last Facebook Live, I said it's kind of neat. It looks like a word bubble. So that would be an example of that. This time I'm using it as a little bit of a backing to put behind the center of that sentiment, just to make the sentiment pop a little bit more, because the DSP is pretty busy. And I didn't want my sentiment to get lost on there. So I decided I would add it here and pop up both the sentiment and this little bubble shape or bee body with Stampin' Dimensionals. And this little point here, I don't have to cut it off or anything, because I guess it would be what, the stinger, the bee stinger. I don't have to cut that off because my sentiment is going to cover that. So easy peasy. But another way to use that punch, just like in the last Facebook Live, we used this punch for the wings, stamped wings, and for the stamped antennas, the little one. But they can also be stamped and punched to be used as hearts. So now we have this piece that we can use for the bee body, a word bubble, or simply as a fun way to back a sentiment, or maybe a smaller image, something like that. So another way to use that punch. And then I just adhere that across. So these are the two cards. So let's do a little embellishing right now. And actually this I could even put right in the inside my card. This was the one left over from Tuesday's Facebook Live when we talked about using that piece as a word bubble. I'm going to put that right on the inside. Let me close these up and then we'll embellish our cards. Okay. Now, the embellishments that come in the suite, of course, you don't always have to use embellishments and ribbons and trims that come with or that do coordinate with your DSP or your stamp set or bundle or whatever. You can choose any you like. But these are part of the Be Mine suite, this ribbon and these flowers and hearts. So I'm going to use one on each of them. With the Sweet Sorbet ribbon, this is about 1/4 inch wide. It's pretty soft, easy to work with, easy to tie a bow with. I'm just going to make a small bow. And I'm going to use this on my first card. So there's my little bow, and I'm going to adhere it probably right here, I think. And I'll just adhere it with a mini glue dot. So I place the back of the knot of the bow on top of the dot and lift off. Just like that. Okay. And again, I like my corners lifted up off the paper for more dimension. But it's up to you. If you want them to lay flat, just put a little adhesive behind it, a little dot of glue, and you can certainly do that. Okay. Now for the other card, I think I'm going to use the flowers and hearts. And I'm going to put one in each of the corners, just to dress up those corners a little bit. So you can see I can kind of play with it and see which ones I'd like to put there. We have lots of hearts here on the DSP, so I'm going to use some of those flowers instead. And I think I'll use the large petal pink flowers with the red center, the sweet sorbet center. Who said that? Was it Lori? Yes. Lori says she's going to miss this sweet sorbet color. I am too. And when it retires, I will definitely miss that. Oops, picked up something with my finger. Come on. There we go. I've chosen embellishments that are the same for each corner, but you can decide what you like. The other thought is you could put the embellishment, leave the corner plain or the corner blank, and put the embellishment on top of your folded piece. Okay, like look at these little white ones. That would be very cute on top of that sweet sorbet corner. All right, so there's two options of how you can use these embellishments for this card. One thing I do want to point out about these embellishments, I'm trying to get this just right on the camera. Can you see how incredibly thin these are? They're very, very, very flat, which is nice. I know sometimes we worry about using embellishments and things that might make our be too thick for mailing with one single stamp. But these are very, very flat. They're barely raised. And I'm just going to put a couple of these. Let's see here. And maybe a little white flower. Well, that doesn't show up so well. How about a little blue flower instead? So we're doing a combination of hearts and flowers. Okay, so they're that flat that I even feel comfortable putting them on the inside of my card. And I won't feel like they're going to damage the front of the card, okay, or create any weird bumps in them. So what do you think? Is the four corners fun folds technique something you would like to try? Does anybody have, well, I guess today was the first day of ordering. So if you're unless you're a demonstrator, you wouldn't have these products yet. But they certainly are fun. Great for Valentine's Day. But I would say use them beyond, your sweetest honey. You can say that to somebody anytime. A grandchild, a way of saying thank you to a friend, that sort of thing. So super easy. And you get two variations using the same products, same cuts, everything. It's all the same. It's just a matter of where you place the folded corners. So just to point out, as a reminder, pages 8, 9, and 10 of the mini catalog have the Be Mine Sweet collection. All right. Another friendly reminder that along with the mini catalog launch today, celebration has started. So you can get free products when you shop, host, or join, including a free celebration product for any $50 order, or with a $100 order, you can get a level 2 celebration freebie or 2 of the level 1s. All right. I hope you've enjoyed today's demonstration and definitely hope you will give it a try. And when you do, please take a picture and post it to Stampin' Piece with Mary Knabe or send it to me. I'd love to see what you all make. I love knowing that I inspire other people to be creative. So please share it. And you sharing with me or sharing with the rest of my community is the same as me sharing with you. We all have a lot to learn from one another, but we also all have a lot to share. So please keep that in mind. I love seeing what you make. If you would like to have your name put into the drawing to receive one of the cards made during this Facebook Live, please type in the comments now. Let's do Be Mine. B-E-E, like Bumblebee. Mine. Be Mine. Anybody who types that in the comments will have their name put into the drawing to receive one of these cards. Okay, I see people saying yes, they'll definitely give this a try. Donna, I agree. More and more of our embellishments have been designed to be flatter, not stand up as tall. So they're easy to use and they're still great for mailing cards. I hate not to use embellishments, but I know it can be a little frustrating if the embellishments are too thick. I'm just scrolling through the comments, and I don't think I missed any other questions. Okay. Of course, you can watch this replay here on Mary Knabe, or Stampin' Piece with Mary Knabe on Facebook, or I will be putting it up on my blog and YouTube channel in the next day or so. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. It's almost Friday, and happy stamping. Bye-bye.